Several projects and programs are currently being undertaken by the Second Republic across the country. And today we have invited the ZANU PF Member of Parliament for Marondera East Constituency, Honourable Vimbayi Mutokonyi. Good morning and welcome to the program. We're discussing some of the major successful projects or developments in your constituency.
Right.
So what initiatives have you implemented to promote skills development in your constituency?
Okay. Skills development. It is very important that for every nation to thrive, it should have the requisite skills for its people. And I looked around the community. We've got a lot of youth around in the community. And we then said, how should we assist our youth? And then I came up with the program where I engaged the Ministry of Higher and Tertiary Education through their college. We've got a college in the constituency, Kushinga Pekelela Training Institute. So we sat down and came up with the model. How should we help this? Then we came up with about 5 various modules, which include electrification, that's electrical engineering, building, steel fabrication, as well as sewing. So we then molded that. Then we said, no, let's train the youth. And we trained them last year. They were part of the graduation. We trained about 105 constituency youth who were part of the Kushinga Pekelela 2024 graduation. So this was our departure point. Because we said, how should we then develop the constituency in as far as economic development is concerned? First, we said we need to have skill. Because what we realized is a lot of farming is happening in the constituency, and people are making money. And what we've realized that all the money is being exported into Harare, and they do all the purchases here and go back. So, for example, we then said once we capacitate these youth with these skills, now we are able then to say, instead of making a scotch cut, buying a scotch cut at the CSO there, we need to now to make a scotch cut.
Now you can get it locally.
Yes, that's how we drive the local economy. Instead of the uniforms, because we've got over 17 schools in the constituents, and that is quite a lot in as far as uniform requirement is concerned. Then we said, no, we need to create our own uniform center.
We're decentralizing.
We're decentralizing, because the traditional culture is you buy uniform from Harare.
Because during times when schools are about to open, it is congested in town.
Exactly.
People from all over the country are coming to Harare to buy uniforms. So, you know what? Now, with the advent of social media and access to information, everyone has the ability to go online. Everyone is connected to the internet. And you'll find that there are a few institutions, media houses like ourselves, ZBC, who are pushing the positive narrative of what is happening on the ground. But there are a lot of people who also have access to the same pages that we have, who have access to the same social tools that we use to disseminate our information. And these people, most of them are now abusing social media. You'll find that when you go online, there is a lot of negative narratives that are being formed with regards to Zimbabwe's development. You know, every time we have stories, especially on our social media platforms, when we run development stories, it seems like we're bluffing, like we have been accused of lying. You know, people do not appreciate what is happening on the ground, and it's unfortunate that our brothers and sisters who are in the diaspora, they get to appreciate what is happening on the ground through these mediums of social media. Can you tell us what is actually obtaining on the ground in your constituency in terms of development, so that maybe we can set the record straight?
Okay, thank you. So yeah, you are very correct there. The narrative has to be very, very clear and straight. This is the skills development, so which is already now in the implementation. We secured the working space at Marondera Showground. So this way we are going to hub all our youth and the women to start to do their works. We already have got the equipment, the tools of trade are there. So that's one. And then in as far as social development is concerned, we have got key aspects. various facets of social development, health, education, and the socio-economic status of the constituents. From a health perspective, we have managed to do quite a lot. I'll tell you, we in Ward 2 of the constituency, in Ward 1, we've got new state-of-the-art rural service centers. We in Ward 2, we've got a development partner who came and partnered with us, with the constituency, with the local authority, and built a very state-of-the-art rural service center, including the houses for the nurses. So this is exactly the...
So if we could get the name of the...
It's called Mandoga Clinic in Ward 2. I remember recently the minister, the permanent secretary in the Presidential Affairs Ministry, Dr. Engineer Mgut, he visited, we toured the sites, and he was actually surprised to see that, wow, we've got this kind of infrastructure here. So we were saying, basically what we are doing is we are continuing to implement the National Development Policy, which was set by the President, right? So our job is very simple, is to implement, because already the framework was laid, and it's us now who should then implement. So that's on the rural, on the health. We also have got big plans again to put up 2-3 more clinics in the constituents. We have got, Marondera East is a farming community, so there were a lot of farms around. So we came up with the model to say we need to see the farmhouses that we can actually convert into rural health centers, so that we don't necessarily need to start to build, but we renovate. Already that program has happened in Ward 1. That's the Helm Clinic. There's already now a clinic which is already operational now. And I'm sure we're going to invite the head of state to come and officially open, because he is the one who is driving this. So he also has to see the fruits of his policies, because at the end of the day, it's all about the good policies. So that at the Home Clinic, it was a farmhouse. And at some point when we went there some 4 years back, the person who was staying there, you couldn't believe that already you would see goats in the house, right? But because of the mindset now of development, we said no. I think we can actually put this house to good use. So we've got a rural service center, and we partnered with some couple, they are doctors. So they're actually running that rural service. They came with all their equipment. You can't believe that it's in the rural. So it's those things now. So that's in as far as health is concerned. And then in as far as education is concerned, education is the key driver for success, because you can't succeed without proper education. So Marondera East had a challenge of high schools, right? So that's one of the challenges that we observed. So we then said, and I'll tell you that because for Marondera East has got many secondary schools, but there is no high school, day school, right? Okay. The schools which are there, high schools, is the Peter House is in Marondera East Peter House. Yes. Bernard Mizek is in Marondera East. So we then said, no, our priority right now, in as far as education development is concerned, is to urgently put up an A-level day school. So we structured with the Ministry of Education, and we already cited, we want to put the first day school A-level at St. Lucia Secondary School this year. And this is what we set and agreed with our councillors. We meet our councillors, they come and give us all the issues. Then we then agree to say the key priority right now for this year of 2025, through the CDF funding, which we are expecting them in this month of May, is to put up that A-level block. And what we have arranged, I already arranged with the Zimbabwe Prison and Correctional Services to come and build for us. So that is already set. We're just waiting. If we get the funds, we go and buy all the material. Then we put up the school. Because for your information, the constituents again has got a university. Marondera University of Agricultural Science and Technology is in Marondera East. So we're then seeing now we need to create more feeder schools which can feed into the university. We need to have more A-level schools around. So that's our priority in as far as education development is concerned.
So can you also highlight what you have done in the constituency in as far as rural electrification is concerned?
Okay. Thank you very much. In terms of the rural electrification, the power infrastructure, we managed to electrify apart from rehabilitating other existing infrastructure, new infrastructure, we powered Mpazhiro Business Center, Muchakata Business Center, Norway Business Center, and St. Anna Meyer School, new powering, right? And then on existing infrastructure, you know, there are always challenges of vandalism, challenges of faults and this and that. We've done quite a lot in terms of the transformers, and I'm very proud of the Ministry of Energy and Power Development in terms of their reaction, in particular also the rural electrification agents. They managed to power these communities, and we had an official opening this year for these 4 projects, and we are looking forward to do more again. Like I said, the Mandoga clinic, we have already starting. We did the applications. They are going to come and power the clinic. At that Mandoga again, there is a school that was built by another partner. We're going to power it. So things have to change, and this is all because of the Second Republic.
You know, it warms my heart when we talk of rural electrification, because most people who are coming in on social media are people who are living in urban areas where they have always had access to electricity. So to them, it doesn't really mean much. We do not appreciate what it means for a people to have electricity. I've seen a lot of school-going children saying it has changed their life and also how they learn. Now they can access the internet because now they have access to electricity. They can power in their computers, their phones, and they can now be on the same page with everyone. But I also understand that it cannot all be rosy. There are definitely some challenges that you're facing, and probably throughout this engagement there are also people out there who you can partner with as a constituency. What are some of the challenges that you think are critical at the moment and that you think you may need assistance with?
Thank you. We have got challenges in terms of our roads rehabilitation. We are doing much, but the key challenge is particularly the diesel, the fuels to rehabilitate the road. The equipments are there. Like recently, I had to reach out to one of the contractors who are working with the Zimbabwe National Water Authority, and they requested for their equipment. They availed free of charge 2 tipper trucks and a grader and an excavator. So they availed this equipment to rehabilitate the Marondera Chiduku road. It's a very busy trunk road which links Marondera and Manicaland through Makoni district. So the challenge that we keep on engaging the relevant authorities, because we've got a reader on one end who are responsible for the internal rural roads, and then we've got the ministry, which is the Department of Roads, internal responsible for the trunk roads, as well as the council. So we always engage, but this has been a challenge, particularly the challenge of diesel. And I've also got some support from the partners in terms of availing fuels, and so that we keep on getting things done, because the roads are very key and strategic for all the development. So we need to make sure all year round the roads are in good condition. So
as we wind up, you know, there seems to be a gap in terms of how the general citizens understand development in constituencies or in the country generally. For instance, when you have something that is going on, let's say a school has been commissioned. We say the government has commissioned such school together with development partners. We really do not understand how it works. How does it work in terms of development? Are those funds that are coming through from Treasury only, or it is your mandate as the Member of Parliament for a certain constituency to then also look for extra funds outside of those that are given by the government?
Okay. All the funds, they come from the government, but through different funding approaches. Like, for example, there's the devolution funding, where the government realized that for effective development to take place, let's devolve, right? So that the systems gets closer to the people. So there's the devolution funds, which are administered through the local authorities, right? And then there's also what we term the ward retention, whereby, in every ward, the people there, they pay the taxes, and a percentage of those taxes is given back to the community so that they decide on what they have to do in their ward, right? So there's the ward retention. Then there's the Constituent Development Fund, right, which is more administered through the committee and chaired by the responsible member of parliament of that constituency. But you realize that all these funds are government funds, right? Then we've got the development partners, where development partners, they work hand in glove with as the representative with the government. So at the end of the day, when everything one could have been achieved, it could have been achieved by all. In as far as if the school is achieved, it's not going to be one unit or one person, but it is us, which is why the president is very clear when he says inyika inovakwa nevene vayo.
Ilizwe lakiwa ngabanikazi balo. Thank you very much, Honourable, for coming through and enlightening us on what is happening in your constituency. And here's to hoping that to everyone who is watching, if you want to be a development partner, you can also partner with anyone across the country, because this country, inovakwa nevene vayo, brick by brick, it takes me and you and everyone